In the city of shadows, where rebellion reigns as law and freedom is the only currency, a group of fearless youths find themselves facing an unimaginable fate, life imprisonment, a sentence that will forever alter the course of their lives. This story takes us deep into the underworld of rebellious, dangerous youth, where every action is a gamble with life or death. This is the beginning of a journey that will test the limits of freedom and redemption. Will these young souls find a way out, or are they doomed to wander the shadows forever? It all began with Fernando Salgado, an 18-year-old Californian student who broke down in hysterical tears at the Fontana Superior Court. He had just been charged with physical exploitation, and the weight of the moment was unbearable. Salgado had calmly pleaded not guilty to 2 charges related to separate incidents at Biller High School. However, his composure shattered when he was ordered to remain in custody. With his bail set at $300,000, he began shouting uncontrollably, crying out, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I just want to go home." His family and friends, who were present in the courtroom to offer their support, watched helplessly as he was led away, dressed in a green jumpsuit, a sign that he was under protective custody. Salgado's situation seemed bleak. His court appearance came shortly after that of his teacher, Emmanuel Duroa, a 27-year-old man, who was also involved in the same case. Both men were accused of 2 felony counts of attempted physical exploitation with a foreign object and false imprisonment. Duroa, who was aware of several similar incidents in his classroom, had failed to report them to authorities and, in some cases, even encouraged such behavior. The case grew darker as Salgado's sister, Krista Hernandez, revealed that the police had come to her house looking for her brother. When they found him with friends, he went to the police station to answer their questions. He was arrested soon after. Hernandez was adamant that the charges against her brother would eventually be dropped, speculating that they stemmed from pranks that got out of hand. She described Fernando as a playful, joking teenager, prone to lighthearted mischief, but denied that his actions ever mirrored the accusations. In another corner of the criminal world, Samantha Grigg, a young woman from Saline, Michigan, was facing her own set of consequences. At the age of 18, she was sentenced to 6 to 15 years in prison by Judge Randy Tavin in Clinton County Court. Grigg had pleaded guilty to the death of Michigan State University student Dustin Furr. Her tears were evident as she apologized for her role in his death, explaining that she never intended for things to escalate. She had knowingly driven to individuals Brendan Himes, 16, and Terrell Brannitz, 17, to East Lansing, where the 2 men attacked Furr during an armed robbery. In the court, the victim's stepmother, Eileen Hinkertra, delivered a heartfelt statement, listing the precious moments stolen from her family, especially the loss of her daughter Melody's father. "You helped murder him, strip him of his clothes, his money, his dignity, but not his face," she said. Grigg cried, but silently nodded in agreement as the victim's stepmother requested the maximum sentence for her. The depth of her remorse was clear as Grigg expressed how broken she felt. She wished, every day, that she could take it all back, but the saga of youthful rebellion continued, with another tragic case involving 16-year-old Sierra Houth and her boyfriend, 18-year-old Aaron Guerrero. Both teens were sentenced to life imprisonment with the possibility of parole for the murder of Sierra's father, Daniel Houth, age 45. His body was found in the garage of his home in northwest Las Vegas on April 14th, just days after the murder. The teens were apprehended for. Days later in Salt Lake City, Sierra and Aaron, who had confessed to the murder, were given the maximum sentence by District Judge Kiara Jones. They were charged with various crimes, including murder with a deadly weapon, arson, robbery, and fraud. A total of $5,000 in restitution was also ordered. As the sentence was read, Aaron seemed to crumble emotionally, while Sierra remained stoic, almost detached, as if indifferent to the gravity of the situation. It was a disturbing contrast that left many questioning the depths of Sierra's emotions. The case of Tony Farmer, a young basketball player with a promising future, also serves as a cautionary tale. In 2012, Farmer was sentenced to 3 years in prison for assaulting his girlfriend. At the time, Tony seemed in disbelief, almost fainting as he was carried away by officers. His bright career and future aspiration were dashed in an instant, with the legal system holding him accountable for his actions. His case highlighted the tragedy of a promising life destroyed by a single, impulsive decision. And then there was Aden Fui, whose involvement in the stabbing and killing of his classmate Tristan Bailey shocked the community. The details of the case were harrowing, with the victim suffering 114 stab wounds, including 49 offensive wounds, indicating that she fought for her life. The brutality of the attack was undeniable. Philly had lured Bailey into a secluded area near his home, under the false pretense of meeting privately. There, he brutally murdered her. The premeditation of the crime was clear. As Philly had confided in his girlfriend and friends about his intent to kill someone, the judge, upon reviewing the details of the crime, declared that there was no other appropriate sentence for Philly. He was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. However, because of his age, he was eligible for review after 25 years. The court order was stern, and Philly was informed that he would be notified when he became eligible for parole. The somber mood in the courtroom was palpable as the weight of the young man's actions settled over everyone present. These stories, though diverse in their details, all share one common thread: the consequences of youthful rebellion, the moments when choices made in anger or recklessness set a person on a path of irreversible punishment. Each of these young people, whether driven by a desire for power, a thirst for excitement, or the blind impulses of youth, now face the harsh reality of their actions. For some, there's a glimmer of hope, a chance for redemption through parole or review, but for others, the shadows they have created will remain with them for the rest of their lives. In the city of shadows, rebellion may be the law, but the price of freedom is steep. It's a world where every action has consequences, and the journey toward redemption is fraught with uncertainty. As we delve into the lives of these young rebels, we are reminded of the fragile nature of freedom and the unforgiving hand of justice. Will they ever escape the shadows they have cast? Or are they destined to remain trapped in the darkness, forever haunted by their past choices? Only time will tell.